Back to Prepper Boss. Today we are going to make some keto pizza. Part of preparation is to stay in good health, and I think it's been well established that the traditional standard American diet, otherwise known as SAD, is making everybody sick. So I give a shout out to the channel Living Traditions Homestead out of Missouri, who had this on their YouTube channel. I made this and it turned out terrific. Stay tuned. This is a very simple recipe. What we have is a cast iron pizza pan, 14 inches in diameter, and it's just about perfect for this recipe. You'll need 3 cups of mozzarella cheese, 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. I use the crust grated Parmesan cheese. And you'll need 4 eggs. Let's get them mixed together. Each one of these is 1 cup. So we'll take 3 of those. One, 2, 3, 4. We'll take 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. Mix it up before you put the eggs in. And put them in. Now we live out in the country, so it's easy to find farm fresh eggs. You'll notice these shells are all a different color, coming from various varieties of chicken. And the darker the yellow the yolk is, the more natural and farm-fed the chickens are. These are free-range chickens that eat insects, plants, seeds, you name it. So we'll mix this up and get it ready. Don't forget to grease the pizza pan. I like You'll also want a small spatula, a wooden handled rubber spatula. It doesn't have to be very big. And what we will do is spread out the pizza dough that we've made, the keto dough, nice and even on the pan. And we'll use this to get the remaining residue. Then you'll simply spread this out over the pan, probably about a 1/2 inch thick. Just so happens that these particular ingredients almost perfectly fit the pan. And so what I did when I first tried this was I went all the way to the edge. The second time I tried it, I left a little bit of the edge open. Then it was easy to scoop it out with a spatula when I was ready to eat the pizza. Try to get this as uniformly flat as possible. You need to try this 2 or 3 times to see what really works for you. This is my 3rd time, and the 2nd time worked like a charm. So we'll give this a whirl. And then try to make it as flat as you can and even thickness if possible. Okay, you can see the oven is set at 425 degrees. I've set the timer on the microwave for 50. Then we'll place the pan with the pizza dough in it in the oven on the medium shelf. We'll hit the timer and wait 15 minutes. The good thing about pizza is you can put whatever you want on top. So while this is cooking at 425, I've got the toppings ready. So pepperoni, I like jalapenos with pepperoni. And we've got some leftover shredded chicken from tacos last night, keto street tacos. And we'll be saving that and using that for toppings when the pizza's ready. And don't forget the pizza sauce. After an additional 5 minutes, this is what your pizza crust should look like. I'll have to put down the camera because I need both hands. This is the way you want your pizza crust to look. Golden brown. Keep the oven on at 425 because we will use that again when we put the toppings on. Beware, cast iron is hot. Cast iron stays hot. So make sure you have the proper stove mitts so that you don't burn yourself. Toppings, or whatever you prefer, but you got to start with pizza sauce. I found Classico to be pretty good. So spread this around as liberally as you want, but I would keep a 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch space on the crust area, because as this heats up, it will migrate down towards the crust. Get as much as you want on there. Now, we have an electric stove. I'm not sure if this would be different if you had a gas-powered stove. So give this at least 2 or 3 tries to get it the way you want it. This is our 3rd one, and it's worked fine each time. And then you top it with whatever else you're interested in having. Put some pepperoni on. Then we had some leftover chicken from Keto Street Tacos last night. So we'll put some chicken meat on here. Don't like to waste food. And I love jalapenos. Now, if you're a little sensitive to the jalapeno heat, there's one that's called Slice Tamed, which is not quite as hot as the real hot jalapenos. And then we'll top it off with the mozzarella that we used originally. And just put in what you prefer. And this will go back into the oven, and we'll start out at 12 minutes this time. And then we'll keep an eye on it. I took it out of the oven after 12 minutes. The mozzarella on top is nicely melted. There's a crispy crust around the edge. We'll let her cool for a few minutes and then cut it and give it a taste. Depending on how big your slices are, you want to use a narrow spatula if you can. The pan should still be hot, so make sure you use a hot pad. And around the edges is going to be a little crusty, but you get under that. And there's your keto pizza. And you'll see the crust is nice and done, which gives it stability. And it's still hot. Now, it's not as rigid as regular pizza. Kind of keep it stable when I go to eat it. Check to see if it's hot. That's as good as pizza you'll buy at the store. And it's keto.